friends and families. Thank you for joining us for the second part of our reading lesson. For the second part of our reading lesson today, we are going to talk about text evidence. Do you remember what text evidence is? That's right, it's ideas we get directly from the text. And when we talk about text, we could mean a story or an article. Up here on the board, I have an article. You have a similar page in your packet on the third page. I am going to show you what to do with this article so that you will know what to do when you get to the page in your packet. So you can follow along in the video as we read the article together. And I bet that you're going to know a lot of these words because there's a lot of sight words in this article. So let's put a finger at the top. This says Groundhog Day. That's right, is on February 2nd each year. If the groundhog, same word as up here, does not see his shadow. That's a tricky word because O and W together make the sound ow. Shadow. Shadow. Spring will come early. If the groundhog does see his shadow, there will be six or more weeks of winter. The largest Groundhog Day celebration is in Pennsylvania. That's way up north from here. Now that we've read this article, let's see what questions they would like us to answer. The first question says, when is Groundhog Day? Color the answer red. So to find the answer to this question, we need to use some text evidence. We need to go back into the article and find out when Groundhog Day is. To do this, let's start at the beginning and reread the first sentence. It says, Groundhog Day is on February 2nd. Wait a second. Does that answer a question? When is Groundhog Day? You're right, it does, because that first sentence right here, tells us when Groundhog Day is. It gives us a date. So I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to underline that first sentence right here because that tells us when Groundhog Day is. Now, let's read what the second question is asking. Oh, and I got a little cut off. It says, what happens if the groundhog does not see his shadow? Color the answer green. If the groundhog does not see his shadow, do you remember where we read about that in the article? Let's continue reading the article and see if we could find that sentence. If the groundhog does not see his shadow, spring will come early. Wait a second. Does that sentence right there answer a question? A question was, what happens if the groundhog does not see his shadow? Does that sentence answer a question? You're right, it does. So I'm going to take my green marker and I'm going to underline that whole sentence right here, because that tells us what happens if the groundhog does not see his shadow. Now, let's read question number 3. Question number 3 says, what happens if the groundhog does see his shadow? Color the answer purple. And unfortunately I don't have purple, so I'm just going to use blue instead. And that's okay if you get to your article and you don't have a particular color too. So a question was, what happens if the groundhog does see his shadow? Do you think we might find out that information in the next sentence? Let's read on to see. If the groundhog does see his shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. Does that sentence answer a question? It does, you're right. So I'm going to take my blue marker and I'm going to underline that sentence right here, because that answers the question, what happens if the groundhog does see his shadow? Now, let's read the last question. The last question is asking us, where is the largest Groundhog Day celebration? Color the answer orange. So I'm going to take my orange marker and see if I could find that sentence. Do you remember where that sentence is in the article? Well, let's see. I underlined one sentence in red, I underlined another in green, and another in blue. Do you think this last sentence might answer a question? Where is the largest groundhog celebration? Let's find out. The largest Groundhog Day celebration is in Pennsylvania. Does that sentence answer a question? Where is the largest Groundhog Day celebration? You're right, it does. So I'm going to take my orange marker and I'm going to underline that last sentence right here. And now we have all of our text evidence